This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
We're back for another week, ladies and gentlemen. So it was raining on the way in, but now it's just mostly cloudy. And it wasn't like pouring. It was kind of a sprinkle kind of deal. So it's not. Is it supposed to rain today? I don't even know.
I'm not sure, actually. I hope not. I got stuff I got to do later.
Like what?
It's athletic activities.
Oh, you do?
It's wiffle ball. It's not that.
Oh, I like wiffle ball, though. Andy Fisher and I'm telling you, in his backyard. Yeah, it's so funny you bring that up because I was just talking to Tevin about the fact that about once a month I drive through North Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Because it, makes me think of my mother and my sister and brothers and all that stuff.
Get back to the roots, yeah.
And get back to the roots. Just remember where you came from and all the rest of that stuff. But I drove through this morning, and God, it's really hard to drive around past your old house when there were 43 of them.
Yeah, that's a very long road trip through.
It's a long road trip. Yeah.
How many stops at the gas station do you need on that trip?
Honestly, God.
2 or 3?
My favorite is still, we lived at 2955 Russell, 3015 Russell, 3115 Russell. It's like, and then it was pointed out, lived at 3506 Penn Avenue North, where 1 block away last night. What happened, Tevin? 1 block there?
There were like 3 murders within like a 1 block radius of your old house.
And I'm not laughing at the murders. I'm laughing at the facts. Like, I was just telling Tevin, this is a true story. One of my brothers was moving, and he couldn't move from one place to another, so he had to store my furniture in my garage, or his furniture, in my garage. Mm-hmm. I parked out on Penn Avenue for one night. One night I parked on Penn Avenue. Every window in my car was punched out.
It's funny. It's funny you say that because last, not this most recent Friday, but the following one, my cousin got married, and it was at some like reworked like warehouse in Northeast Minneapolis. Mm-hmm. Kind of, it was an okay enough neighborhood right down the street from Jimmy's Bar.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Pretty nice facility actually, but we go and I heard like Saturday or Sunday, like, yeah, my cousin left his truck there overnight, window punched out because they left for his honeymoon. His wife's parents left their car there overnight and traveled back home with some people. Every window gone. God. And I think my uncle left his car there too and had the same thing happen. Like, just crazy.
What is the thrill of punching somebody's windows out of their car?
You better not park kind of in the vicinity of where I sort of live.
Yes.
You better not.
Honest to God. But yeah, I like taking that trip through because it reminds me of, the younger days. The only sad part of that is because of and it has something to do with the kind of neighborhood it is, that are the 22 guys that I went to St. Anne's with for 7th and 8th grade. I think there are 4 of us left alive.
Jeez.
A few of them were murdered. 3 of my uncles were murdered, so that was good. Or one was a great uncle. I guess there were 2 great uncles and 1 uncle. That's the best way to put it. But I mean, just driving through, I think people should do that. And I don't care if you lived in one house and it was in, Maple Grove or whatever. Mm-hmm. To drive by there and just remember where you came from is a really good thing to do.
Oh yeah. Every once in a while when I have to drive through Wisconsin, if I go through my old hometown, I'll take a little detour and go by like the high school and just the house that I lived in town, the house that I lived in out in the country. And yeah, it brings back a lot of memories and it makes you grateful for where you're at now.
No question about it. It's really, really a good idea. But I want to say thank you to Jill from the Lunds and Byerly's in Wayzata. I was looking for the grape flavored 5-hour energies. Mm-hmm. Where did they go? They're just gone now.
Did Catherine hide them all? Because I know that she wanted you to wean off of the 5-hour.
I know she did, but it ain't going to happen. I want to get here every morning and go, I'm too tired to talk. It's just unbelievable.
Hey guys, it's Tom here. How are you? Like, you're going to be wired up.
Shut up, all of you. Just get pissed off because you're on 5-hour energy. But yeah, they used to be everywhere, and now you can't find the damn thing.
Yeah, well, when 5-hour energy first came out, it was like they were at the checkout line. They're in every single aisle. They hand them to you out the door. Like there's a little girl selling them next to the Girl Scout cookies. Like they were everywhere. And now I feel like they've kind of taken a little bit of a step back and you don't find them as easily.
What's like the default flavor? I've never had a 5-hour energy. The only time like I know, like the only vivid memory I have is like when I was playing like Pee Wee hockey. some guys are passing around a bottle of 5 Hour Energy. They were like drinking it before the game. They're like, we're gonna be so amped out there. We're never gonna stop skating. Like I'm gonna pass. I'll stick with the water. What does it taste like?
It tastes like grape, or whatever flavor you got. It tastes like that flavor. It doesn't like some people think, oh, that energy must burn your tongue. It's like, no, it's just this liquid works just fine. But
yeah, it gives you, I would say, more of like a steady amount of energy all day. It's not like an energy drink where you drink it and then in the first 20 minutes your face is tingling and you feel wired. It's a very even keel.
It is
energy.
Okay, I've always thought it was like you're like a kid on a sugar rush the entire time.
No, like have you taken pre-workout?
No.
Okay, so yeah, it's nothing like a pre-workout type of thing where
I'm gonna ask you about that because what's it called? The pre-workout, is there one that stands out?
I think C4 is probably the most popular
C4?
one, or there's like a ghost one that's kind of newer-ish.
I went to the gym 10 years ago, right over there, and this guy's down in one of those.
Yeah.
And I said, so what's that? He goes, oh, it's just this drink, man. It really amps you.
Oh, it does.
Settle down. Like, take it easy.
When I was in college, one of my friends was like, oh, here, you got to try this pre-workout stuff.
Oh, man.
Went through a whole workout. And then after the workout, he's like, all right, I'm going to head home. I was like, I need to go run like 2 miles around the track because I'm still just freaking shaking.
Well, you can't stand still.
Oh, no.
There's no way you can stand still drinking that stuff. But also, I want to thank the people at the Red Cow in Wayzata because we had dinner there last night. Riley's the manager. And several listeners. So smart. Remember, he's the one I told you about when the guy called me the Godfather of Wayzata. And then when I could pick up my order from Red Cow, it said Godfather on the bag. Well, that was Riley that did that. And so we were talking to all the different people. That food there is phenomenal. Really good food. But nice people. The Red Cow in Wayzata. Just thank you to, and young guys looking at, the Tom Barnard show, right? And some listeners there. It was really, really nice. They're younger guys too. So look, we take people of all ages and stripes and all the rest of it. Don't get me wrong. But I just had a really, really nice weekend and kicked off the morning by running into Jill over at, we were just talking a little bit about, because I thanked her for something. She said, oh my God, you thanked me. Apparently you don't hear that much anymore.
What a shock.
She didn't say that, but you could it was kind of implied that not a lot of people are courteous anymore.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is. Why wouldn't you want to be courteous? You look like you're intelligent if you're courteous.
Yeah, and it takes very minimal effort to be nice and say thank you to somebody.
It's just not that hard to do, man.
Walking in today, I was opening the door and I saw in the reflection, I saw a bright green shirt walking, closing distance behind me. And I was like, I can either slam this right in Tom's face,
which you tried to do.
And I tried, but no, I said, no, I'll take the high road. And I opened the door and I waited. It was an awkward distance.
Yeah.
It was one of those where it was like, hey, you're still pretty far away, but hey.
He held it up for me. He had to wait like an hour for me to get out of my car.
Get it moving. This door's not going to stay here all day.
Double time up. Get that going. Oh, so to close out that story, being at the Red Cow, this very attractive young woman comes over, the server. What would you like, Godfather? I said, oh, God, Riley's been talking to you. She goes, maybe.
I would like a new manager here at the Red Cow.
Riley's, you'd love that guy. He's everybody there is very, very nice. Man, those places, they load up with customers. Holy Christ, those things are popular.
Yeah, all of their concepts. They have Red Cow, Red Rabbit. I think they have another color animal combination of a restaurant as well.
Is there a Red Rabbit?
Yeah, Red Rabbit's downtown.
Okay.
Which that one's phenomenal as well. They have these garlic bread cheese curds.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever have the 60-40, the hamburger?
Yeah, that's the one that's like hamburger and bacon chopped together. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, is that a good burger?
Yep.
Hey,
yeah,
what's that pancake place in Wayzata that you had mentioned previously?
Original Pancake House.
Okay, Eric was writing it and wondering about which.
It was the Original Pancake. Where I live now is the building where that restaurant used to be. They tore down all those buildings and they built a bunch of.
Okay.
And some guy, smart ass, because I live. I suppose I probably shouldn't say the name of the building to protect everybody else who lives there.
Yeah, go ahead.
But right next door to it is a retirement home.
Oh, so you're just one step across the street.
No, according to one of my friends, he went in that building. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? He goes in the retirement home looking for me. I'm like, gee, thanks.
I'm envisioning him standing outside both buildings. And he's like, all right, is it this one? Retirement home? All right, he did
Senior
retire
living.
from KQ allegedly. So we're going to go to the retirement home.
Hilarious. That's all I've got to say to all of them. There's no question about it. Laugh it up. You know, it's National Chicken Wing Day. Did you know that?
I did not, but I now know what I'm going to be eating for lunch.
It's gonna be a day to celebrate. That's for sure.
So I have a question. Is there anybody that doesn't like chicken wings?
I'll say not anybody that you can trust.
See? And chickens, I would guess. They probably don't eat chicken wings, do they?
They might just like dislike it because, their
sensitive
cousins,
subject.
buddies missing it.
Yeah, no question about it. But yeah, National Chicken Wing Day, ladies and gentlemen. So, wait a minute. What does it say? Here are all the best details about chicken wings.
Well, there might be some like a Buffalo Wild Wings or something might have like a special deal because of the day,
Happy National Chicken Wing Day. The mayor of Buffalo, New York, declared it a holiday in 1977. So that's where they were invented. Yeah. And what was the name of the family again that invented the chicken wing by itself?
Oh, I have no idea.
It was a family in Buffalo, New York, but I can't remember their name. I used to know their name, but So it's the 48th year it's been celebrated. A group that tracks America's eating habits found we eat 1.3 billion of them in the past 12 months.
Jeez.
I only did the 0.3 billion. That's the ones that I did.
Yep.
In the past 12 months, up 5% year over year. If you want to help add to that total, a bunch of places have deals today, as a matter of fact, carried over from Sunday. And it is National Chicken Wing Today. Wingstop, Buffalo Wild Wings, Applebee's, Popeyes, and Hooters. Oh, so you can have chicken wings looking at titties. But they don't, they wear tops. Did they used to be topless?
I've actually never been to a Hooters.
I don't think they've ever been topless because I feel like
so.
that would, if they went from topless to having shirts, the clientele would probably just riot in the streets.
Just bail out on them.
Yep.
The only time I've ever been in a Hooters, and it's not that I'm avoiding them, it's just sometimes you just never do it. You know why I went to Hooters the very first time when they opened, probably 25 years ago, something like that, 20 years ago?
Mhm.
I went there because my mom wanted to go there. It's like, what? Oh, I heard that Hooters is really good. I said, Mom, do you know what Hooters are? Yeah, it's like an owl thing, isn't it? I said, yeah, yep, that's it. Mom. It's an owl. That's exactly right.
And Teresa Bellissimo, there we go, is the founder of the chicken wing at Anchor Bar in Buffalo.
Anchor Bar in Buffalo. There you go. Bellissimo. Leave it up to an Italian to come up with something good. That's all other than Sansevere.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the only one's never come up with anything good in his entire life. Let's be honest. We shall take a break. Be right back. Phil Mackey will join us in a couple of minutes. Mike Lindell, MyPillow employees, want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. Thank you. They're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever when you use promo code Tom, and you get free shipping on your entire order. Get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets only $29.98, and take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything's on sale. From the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb. They got dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code Tom, and you get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146 or go to mypillow.com and use promo code Tom.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they taught you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers, and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Yeah, baby. What do you think of that action? Let's take a second. Talk. I got to ask you a question. Michael Bryant does that commercial on this show, right? Every other station I listen to that's on the radio, the morning show host does it. So what's that all about? He comes on my show and I said, well, Tom's not very good at it, so I better do it. Is that the call, Michael?
We need to have you sing the jingle.
Keeping justice from the injured. Or what is it? Let's take a second to talk about my bank, North American. I might not be able to get through this, Bilski. I'm sorry. Let's take a second to talk about my bank. That'd be North American Banking Company. Look, there's no shortage of banking options in the Twin Cities. If you're tired of being just a number to your big national bank, be sure to talk to my friends, and they are my friends at North American Banking Company. They offer the same online and mobile banking options as the other banks, but with the unparalleled service of a community bank. I also like being able to go to any of their 6 Twin Cities locations in Roseville, 50th in France, Hastings, Woodbury, Shoreview, Maple Grove. So if you're looking for a better banking experience, why not bank with my friends at North American Banking Company? Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
And now, Phil Mackey from SKOR North.
Yeah, I believe we're seeking justice. We're seeking justice for the injured.
That's you damn right it is.
Yeah. Seeking,
ladies and gentlemen. Get it right.
Yes.
No question. What's interesting? My 6-year-old grandson, Sage, there is no bigger Olympic fan than him. At 6 years old, he is all jacked about it.
I discovered one of the great things in American television history this weekend.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys dabble for like the last 10 or 15 years, the NFL has something called the Red Zone channel where every Sunday, and it's been hosted by Scott Hansen. And then until last year, Andrew Siciliano did like the DirecTV version. But you sit down, this channel operates for 7 hours a week. It starts at noon on Sunday. It ends at 7 p.m. when all the afternoon games are done. And it's just fast-paced. You never miss a touchdown. They just take you from game to game to game. Sometimes they'll put the quad box up. We have 4 games at once right now. 3 teams are looking to score inside 2 minutes, right? That's the Red Zone channel. Well, they hired Scott Hansen and Andrew Siciliano to do the Gold Zone channel all throughout the Olympics, where they just take you from event to event to event. The quad box. I've got archery top right, Tom. Oh. I've got the backstroke bottom left over here. I've got there's like people in canoes doing things I've never even seen before. The Gold Zone channel. It's a revelation.
I got to ask you a question. Don't look at me like that.
Oh,
I thought Scott Hansen was dead.
There's probably more than one Scott Hansen.
Well, that's true. It's a pretty common name, isn't it?
Yeah, because isn't Scott Hansen the
Dateline NBC guy? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's a different. That's also a different Scott Hansen.
Oh, there's a lot of Scott Hansens then. Why is it I know the only one who's dead? What the hell's that?
Which one are you talking about?
He's a really nice guy, comedian, very good, very funny, really good guy.
Okay. Oh yeah, the king of Minnesota comedy scene, Scott Hansen.
There you go. Louis Anderson's dead. You got anybody named Louis Anderson you can bring up to depress me even more?
I'll work on it.
That was so cool. I got one thing about him, and I'll move on quickly. Louis Anderson became best friends with my mother, which I thought was pretty damn cool. He used to go. They put her in a retirement home toward the end of her life, and all the rest of it. And Louis would come to town, and he'd go over to there and sit around with her, and drink coffee with my mother. Aww. Sitting in the. And my mother one time, so I showed up. I said, you know what? I'll come by for a bit. I got about a half hour sitting there. As I'm sitting there, my mother looks across the table at a woman who's probably about, I would say she was at least 80 years old. My mother goes, my mother's voice was deeper than mine, by the way. She had a voice like this because she might have had a Paul Ball in her life, if you know what I'm saying. She goes, Louis, I think that woman over there's got eyes for you.
Oh,
Yeah, you got a gay man who's going to start going out with an 80-year-old woman. Yep, that's going to work just beautiful.
Whatever connections you need to make late in life, I guess.
I tell you what, she adored Louis Anderson. She thought Louis was God. She loved it. Well, he paid such close attention to her. He was really nice to my mother.
That's cool
great.
that he would. It's cool that he was, that stage in his career, and he still makes those connections with people.
No question about it. I really miss. He was another guy I miss. Don't become my friend, because apparently you're going to perish. As soon as you become my friend, you die. So stay away.
We all die at some point, unless you become friends with Tom. Then you die sooner.
That's exactly right. That's exactly the word. There's no question. There's no getting around it.
So are you watching the Olympics too? Are you in these first couple days?
I watched Simone Biles, and then she kind of double stepped at one point, and she
has like a calf injury or something.
Oh, is that what it is?
She's grinding through some sort of, in hockey they'd call it a lower body injury. We don't know for sure what the diagnosis is.
Is she the one who's 4'8"?
I think they're all roughly that size.
I'm not kidding you. She's like 4'8".
That doesn't.
I think most gymnasts are under 5 feet.
It doesn't really.
Well,
I was like, is she the gymnast that's pretty short? Yes.
You know what's great about that is just thinking in my head now, it just popped up a guy who's like 6'7", weighs about 300, trying to do gymnastics. It's not going to work.
I saw somebody suggested yesterday. I wish I could. I don't remember who it was on Twitter, but someone said we need to put into context how incredible these athletic feats are. In case you can't tell by just watching, we should have one random guy just involved in all the different. So here we're going to have it's the gymnastics vault competition, and we're going to send out Simone Biles and that Brazilian gal who was ranked number 1, and then Bob from Andover is going to give it a try.
I like it.
See what happens.
Well, that works for me.
Well, your guy that should probably do it is Anthony Edwards. Did you see the video of him challenging the ping pong team to like a game where he's like, I can definitely get at least 1 point off of you guys?
Yeah, so like it's the entire women's ping pong team, I think the U.S. team, and Steph Curry brings him over and says, hey, Ant thinks he can score a point against you guys. And they're like, no, no, you can't.
The best. But yeah, I watched some of the, like I said, my grandchildren are just big into it. They just love watching the Olympics, and it's very, very cool. So it was on, and they are pretty amazing athletes. I mean, you can't take anything away from them. They are phenomenal.
Yeah. I was watching fencing for like an hour yesterday, where they're just, I think I'd be more into fencing if they used real swords and if there was like the threat of death.
Yeah, higher
stakes. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What's it called? What's it called when they go on guard, and they got certain words for
touche?
Yeah, there's touche.
That's a fencing term? Never knew that.
I don't know, maybe.
Touche.
I thought it was just on guard. And then because I saw a little bit of the fencing, and the people were like almost chest to chest at one point. And I was like, I thought the whole point was to be like the sword's length away. So I realized I would know nothing about fencing as I'm watching these two people duke it out. And then one person just takes off their mask because they won. I'm not sure how you score points. Yes, I'm with you, Phil. If it should be real swords, so that way if you bleed, I know that you lost.
Yeah. There you go.
I was watching some women's rugby. I want to say yesterday.
Brutal.
The U.S. team. I saw them putting like Australian women 6 feet under.
Yeah, it was
arms, ferocious. It was incredible to watch.
Yeah,
I actually caught some water polo with the women's team. Who the hell did they play? They kicked the piss out of whoever they were playing. I mean, they won by like 30 goals or something.
Yeah. Think about water polo. I mean, you're treading water for like an hour.
Yes.
On top of all the physical activity above the water, All
right, before we move on, you guys keep putting thoughts in my head about the old days, but I had a friend when we were in 8th grade, and I don't know how he made the connection, but if you ever insulted him or pissed him off, he would grab his crotch with his left hand and say, touche. Oh, yeah, touche. Like, what? Was that a sword now? Is that where you're packing a sword? Is that what you're trying to say?
Feels like he's overcompensating for something.
That's what I'm thinking. Just maybe. Yeah, we watch some of this stuff. I mean, there's some phenomenal athletes. Well, Brittany's cousin is
Katie Ledecky.
Katie Ledecky is she doing well from what I understand?
I heard she got a bronze medal.
She got a
She
bronze.
did. I saw her get a bronze medal, so she failed in that particular event.
Somebody
Just
go,
like Brittany.
yeah, somebody go bully Brittany.
Dude,
So,
I was
failure.
watching one of these swimming events. Which one was it last night? I think it was like the women's 100-meter fly or something.
Mhm.
And so it's you literally train for 4 years, and it's like a 55-second swim, and all 8 or 9 of the swimmers for the world championship, the Olympic championship, are within a half second of each other. There's 5 women touching the whatchamacallit, the pad at the end of the lane.
Mhm.
And they're like 0.08 of a second between first and fourth. So you finish fourth place. You miss out on a medal, but you were 0.08 of a second from getting gold. And now you just have to go train for 4 more years. It's crazy.
It is crazy. They are amazing athletes. There's no question about that. I'll probably catch more of it because, well, the gymnastics part of it, I'm fascinated that they can do that. There was a point, again yesterday when, what the hell's her name again? We talked Simone Biles.
Yep.
She did a double spin in the air. She's running along, jumps in the air, and spins twice. And how the hell do you do that?
Right. And she's like making up her own like moves and tricks that she does, apparently, because she's got like numerous ones named after her, and I guess she's debuting or did debut another new one this year. So yeah, like I'd be dizzy beyond belief trying to do even half the stuff.
She's like Charlie Sheen in Major League. She's just like naming her own pitches. This is the Eliminator.
Charlie Sheen.
Try to score it.
I always liked Charlie Sheen. I always did like him. He's not around much anymore, is he?
No, I think he kind of
busy
got canceled like 10 or 12 years ago.
Oh,
For
did he?
Just being weird on.
The tiger blood
Yeah.
that he said he drank. all
Oh,
the
that's
time,
right.
yeah.
Tiger blood. Yep, you're right.
Too much winning.
Yeah.
He's always winning.
Winning. That's right. He was always winning.
Yeah.
Charlie
Actually, I did see. So I saw his brother in a documentary, Emilio Estevez. Have you guys
sure,
seen on Hulu the Brat Pack documentary?
Yep.
We got to stop for a second. Did I just learn that Emilio Estevez is Charlie Sheen's brother?
Yeah, they're brothers.
Yeah.
Like,
Charlie's real last name is Estevez.
Mhm.
Martin Sheen is their father.
Martin Sheen's the father.
Are we
Yep.
breaking that news to you too?
well, Martin Sheen, that one makes sense. I just like his last name's Estevez, so I figured there was no relation. Okay, interesting.
We're
Sorry.
also breaking news to AJ that sometimes people in Hollywood tweak their names.
Well, it's just so much different. Anyway, sorry.
They look more alike than you would think if you
Yeah,
saw
that's
them.
the thing. Now that you say that, I'm like, I can see it, but I just never would have connected the dots.
But basically, what was the guy's name? There's a million of these Brat Pack actors, but one of them went out to find like those 80s movies that were targeting, kids in their 20s.
Mhm.
And he went out to find all of them 30 years later. And so he
Really?
went and found like Emilio Estevez and like St. Elmo's Fire and 16 Candles and all those movies from back in the day. And he just wanted to like get the band back together and see how everyone's doing in their 60s now.
Well, that's nice.
Check it out on Hulu, The Brat Pack. Yeah.
We can get it done. I actually enjoyed those movies. Like, was it when you just
The Breakfast Club was another big one.
Yeah, that was a good one. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Twins won another big game yesterday, which was very, very cool, I thought.
Stack those series wins. Yeah.
Yep. No question. So let's keep on moving forward. They're still, what are they? Still 5 back?
They're 4.5 games
4.5,
back
okay.
right now. Trade deadline is tomorrow. So we'll see if they.
Oh.
And yet another article came out yesterday. Another national media, I think it was Bob Nightingale from USA Today, saying that the Twins are strapped for cash. They're searching in the couch cushions. They don't know if they can add a significant player at the deadline because they're filing for bankruptcy. I don't know if it's that bad, but yeah, that's the
Can you
narrative.
explain to me how it is that all billionaires now are strapped for cash? How'd that happen?
It's tough out there, Tom. Gas prices are going up. It's tough to find a pitcher.
I suppose that's what it is. But we will talk to you on Friday. Hopefully you have another great starting pitcher. That'd be good.
And some more Olympic updates. That's right.
I love
Gold
it,
Zone
man.
channel, folks. The Gold Zone channel.
I got to tune into that. So it's available everywhere.
Well, it's on Peacock. So you
It's
got
on Peacock. Okay, so it's
yeah,
not,
Peacock, and then you got to go to the Olympic area, and you'll see it in there.
There you have it, Pally. Another brilliant report from Phil Mackey. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
We'll talk to you on Friday. Take a break. Be right back. Chris Egert up next.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever. When you use promo code TOM, you get free shipping on your entire order. You get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you can get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146. Go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You damn right. Channel 5's Chris Egert is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation. That number to get a hold of Josh Arnold is 952-925-5608. Chris Egert, what's the so we just found out, I got the latest murder update from Tevin. A couple of guys were stabbed to death about 4 or 5 feet from my old house on 35th and Penn. So, you know, that was good. So nothing's changed there, apparently. How many stabbings again?
I think there's 1 stabbing, 2 shootings all around Penn Avenue on Saturday night. Oh, Chris, we can't hear you.
Oh, can't hear Chris.
Chris, you're muted.
It's all right. It's a case of the Mondays.
Nope. Not happening. I'm doing what's that
Not
called?
my fault. Somebody hit something here they weren't supposed to.
Was it Hannah?
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody
I knew it.
messes with this crap all the time. Okay, sorry about that. So 9 shootings and a stabbing since Thursday.
Nice.
In North Minneapolis?
Not specific to North Minneapolis, but all of Minneapolis. So it was a lot that went on this weekend. Did you guys see the news conference with the police chief? I think it was yesterday.
No, I saw the transcripts of it, but
yeah, he's normally like, I mean, the guy's just look at him like physically imposing dude. I know he goes out to all this stuff. He like really always puts off this like badass persona. He looked beat. He looked beat
Really?
in the interview that he did. He looked like he looked very, disheartened, which sucks because I think the guy seems like he's well intended.
Yeah.
So the city council, which I don't know, got to try to do something, right? City council supposedly going to try to pass something or take something on today for like a extra $500,000 in like emergency funding to try to, I don't know, cool things off a little bit right now. But
You know what they should do? These DEI folks, maybe they should shut up about the cops. You don't even know what it's like to be a cop. I just love the fact that they judge cops like everybody else. Cops are in constant danger in some neighborhoods, but you guys just can't see clear. We're going to have to enforce the law. Otherwise, this is going to get worse and worse and worse. You know what I mean?
I definitely, there has been and since George Floyd, there was a very big push to defund the police department. And I still can't help but think that some of this is an offshoot of that in some way, shape, or form. I definitely hear more voices from the city saying otherwise, like, no, don't defund the police department. Like,
because we have to live here.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't want to say it's not unusual. Summertime, and I know when it's like crazy hot out, this is something that we see in the news business too. Like, people are up, it's hot, they can't sleep, they're probably drunk. There's always like, a million different factors that play in. And when it gets super hot, stuff like this seems to kind of happen, unfortunately.
You know what I love about these defund the police people that live at Whispering Acres way in the far western suburbs, and they have to go through one gate to get onto the property, and then the second gate to get into your particular neighborhood, and then the third gate to get into your house. But we should defund the police. What you phony bastards. God, I hate that so much.
I mean, that pretty much sums it up, because if you like live downtown and you're stepping over like crackheads as you're walking down Nicollet Mall, and there's naked people tipping over chairs on patios, like, yeah, you need somebody to try and calm the chaos a little bit.
It's funny you bring that up, Tevin. We went downtown for dinner on Friday night, and there wasn't a game going on. And I've been down there. The last couple times I've been down there has either been for work stuff or to go, like if Twins were going on or whatever.
Yeah.
And I felt perfectly safe. I look around, feels comfortable, not worried about anything. We went down there on Friday night for dinner, like an early dinner at like 6, no game going on. I'm not kidding you. I probably walked by at least 10 people who were smoking weed or crack, like right out on the street.
Yep.
There weren't a lot of people around. It had a whole different vibe, and I didn't like it. Like, and I'm not one of those that is like, I'm afraid to go to downtown Minneapolis. I'm not. I'm perfectly safe with it, or I feel perfectly comfortable with it. I didn't feel all that comfortable on Friday night, and I don't know. So I think it's kind of hit or miss when it comes to downtown. That's for sure.
Yeah, and when there's events going on, whether it's like conferences that are in town, or if it's a Twins game, Vikings game, where you kind of have a group of people that are all there for the same reason, it's definitely a much different vibe than just a day where it's not a special event going on, for sure.
I just really wish they'd let people do their jobs and keep your mouth shut, because Whispering Acres, be quiet, right?
Yeah, it's pretty complicated, Tom.
It is complicated.
What do I like to say? It's nuanced. It's nuanced.
Ooh, nuanced. I like that. That works for me.
Also in the news overnight, there was a person who, I won't say guy, I made an assumption. Somebody got rescued off of West River Parkway, fell down one of those cliffs sort of there along the river.
Ooh, yeah.
A person did have to get brought up on a stretcher, but I'm not sure what the person's condition is. So
I never fell off a cliff by the river. He used to go over there all the time, but I never fell off a cliff.
I don't think I want to fall off a cliff by the river.
No, that'd be my guess. No question about it.
No.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, I want to get out of your way. You're the reporter here.
No, you're fine. I was just going to say, other than that, go Olympics.
We were just talking about that. There's some, You can find a pretty good athlete watching the Olympics. I don't know if you know that or not.
It was, I didn't like make it my primary focus this weekend, but I was in the house like paying bills and taking care of crap that needed to be taken. So it was on a lot in the background. Boy, they do a good, I know I shouldn't say this because I'm not talking about the other station in town. I'm talking about NBC. They do a pretty good job with their TV coverage. And I think it was brilliant having Snoop Dogg there. Like they pull in all these, I think it was hilarious. Like, who cares? It's Snoop Dogg. Like, I don't know. I think they do a pretty good job with their coverage.
He murdered 2 people.
Well, sure, Tom, sure.
That was a long time ago when he murdered.
They had it coming. What do you, come on.
Allegedly, he murdered somebody.
Yeah.
Twice. Two allegations then.
Murder was the case that they gave me. I can't remember what year that song dropped, but.
Hey, do you remember the commercial he did with the guy? I can't remember his name anymore, but he was the head of General Motors. And his slogan at the very end of the commercial, because Snoop Dogg and the chairman of the board are walking down the street, and they're talking about, I don't know, whatever the hell it was at the time. What doesn't matter, Pontiac or whatever it was. And Snoop Dogg turns to the CEO of GM and says, "If the ride is fly, you must buy." It's like, really? You think about 99% of the people at that was many years ago. You got people out in Long Prairie going, what the hell does he mean by that?
And I bet you sales went up.
Oh, I know. And look at him now. Like, he's at the Olympics and he's a household name. Like, one of these guys who was, to your point, Tom, at one point, very controversial. And, you know, it's America's a funny place like that, you know?
Right. Where him and Martha Stewart become best friends.
And by the way, after she became his best friend, she went to prison. What does that tell you?
I mean, Snoop didn't go to prison, so what does that tell you about?
Martha's the bad influence.
Yeah. She's a bad influence on Snoop Dogg.
Absolutely.
Exactly right. No question about it. The Snoop Dogg of my life was pretty much Phil Wise. He was like the Snoop Dogg of my entire life.
Yeah, I can see that.
Still pissed off at him because when he used to run, he ran backwards. Pisses me off to no end.
Just to mock you.
Yes, just here. I better slow down by running backwards. Yeah, thanks, Philip. I really appreciate it. I miss the Philly dog. He's living in Arizona now?
I think he's in Vegas.
Was he? Yeah, yep. You're right. He's in Vegas.
Oh, no thanks. Too hot.
The Philly dog. All right. Oh, you got to go, don't you? You got all kinds of duties to take care of.
I have a lot of duty to take care of, Tom. Lots and lots of duty.
Don't talk about duty that way, because there are many people thinking that you're not wearing any pants right now.
Do we know I'm not?
He's not going to stand up to disprove it either.
No, he's not. Exactly. Yeah. All right, Pally, we will talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, bye, you guys. Have a good day.
Ladies and gentlemen, Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation, 952-925-5608. We shall take a break. Be right back. Bob Sansevere joins us right after this. I'm here talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, it seems like banking has changed quite a bit since you first opened your doors in 1998.
Yes and no. In 98, we didn't have online and mobile banking like we do today. Many banking processes have also changed. One thing that hasn't changed is we still provide a true community bank experience right here in the Twin Cities.
Our team takes the time to get to know our customers and their goals. This creates a relationship that is unique in banking today and one our customers appreciate. It's why we like to say, we provide a better banking experience.
You're absolutely right, Brad. I've been a customer for a long time. The service your team provides is phenomenal.
Thanks, Tommy.
So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, and I had to space things out because Sandy's on Mondays, and was it Mondays and Fridays? Is that
Mondays and Fridays, yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Well, tomorrow at 8:45, we're going to have a couple of wine guys in to talk about. Even though I don't drink wine anymore, I still buy it. And matter of fact, my kids make out like bandits because they get all this really good wine. It's not fair. But Giancarlo and Matt are going to come in and talk wine tomorrow at 8:45 on the show. Looking forward to that. It's very, very interesting, actually. Giancarlo is the guy who taught me how to speak Italian, Bob. Did you know that?
I did not. And by the way, if you're coming in with Giancarlo, you got to change your name to Matteo.
Well, it's not Matt. It's Matteo.
Matt.
You got to go. Come
on.
Matt. We'll take care of it. It's not a problem, Sandy. There's no question. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Sansevere Sports is brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. That's minnesotapersonalinjury.com. What's up, Sandy?
Well, I'm sure you've talked already about the Olympics and the opening ceremony, that those idiots. Yeah. And, what's amazing about it is I never knew we had so many experts in Greek mythology and, that's not the Last Supper. That's the Feast of Dionysius. Come on. You never heard of Dionysius before the other day. You read it once and now, you're an expert on it. And to defend that, take away Last Supper, Feast of Dionysius. It was lewd and it was crude, and there's millions of kids watching around the world. They don't want to see some guy's nutsack hanging out.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, there's one guy had it coming out of his drawers, whatever he had cooking there. There's another guy that was painted blue and naked.
I think it was proven that was he had like a sock, like a tight dancer sock.
I don't want to hear. No, that's their excuse. No, it was a nutsack.
No, it was a hole in his like fishnet stocking. Is what it was like.
And his nutsack came out.
But it did absolutely.
You're blind to stuff. This is okay. This is history revisionism that you're going with here. It's the same thing. Like, oh, Kamala was never the border czar. The president called her the border czar.
He
That's
did.
What she
You're right.
was. She called herself that at one point.
Bob, all they do is lie. All people do now is lie to make money. That's what they do. But Bob, I'm telling you, the only upside to that whole thing, it is the first time in history that a guy who weighed 500, 600 pounds was leading the parade with the heart signal there. That guy must have weighed at least 500 pounds. What's he doing at the Olympics?
Eating good.
So what was the point? Because it was the feast of what were they?
Dionysius. You know what? There was no point. They're claiming, here's what they're trying to say. Well, the Olympics was with the Greeks, blah, blah, blah. Then you don't go with something like that. There are kids watching. You don't do something stupid like that.
I didn't see the video of it. I just saw the one picture of the guy making the heart sign and the big fella. So this thing went on for a while or something?
Well, I mean, they were basically on a bridge, and when the boats passed under it, you couldn't help but see it. And it was there. Tom, it was another chance for And I am not singling out this community, but for drag queens to flaunt themselves. Like you see these things of drag queens putting on shows in elementary schools for little kids.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place for it. Hey, who doesn't love RuPaul?
RuPaul's a big star. That is very, very true. There's no question. See, here's the whole deal. I never liked it when I was a kid. Maybe it was because I wasn't getting any action myself. Maybe that was the problem. But I didn't like it when guys say, I went out with this chick this weekend. And it's like, I don't want to hear about your sex life. Just leave me out of it. Leave me alone. I don't want to hear about anybody's sex life.
Well,
your preferences, your leanings, whatever. Good for you. You do what you do. I got no problem with that.
When the final line is, when it turned out it was a guy, you want to hear that story because that's funny. When a guy thinks he's dating a gal and finds out it isn't.
I could see how that might mix things up for some people. It's true.
Yeah.
But here's what I don't understand about the whole deal. I've never understood people who, and it doesn't matter if they're straight, they're gay, whatever they are, all they ever talk about is their sex life. I don't want to hear about it. I got my life. You got your life. I'm happy for you. You do what you do. But why do you have to tell me about it?
Some people are, they got nothing else.
I guess maybe that's what it is. I got nothing else to talk about. I have, that I've falsely accused of being this, that, and the other thing. It was very difficult because one of my best friends in the world became a woman. A guy became a woman, and was I upset? No, you be you. You do whatever you want to do. I got no problem with it. Being in the record business, and you're going to be around a lot of different kinds of people. I just stop being so judgmental and accusing people of things that they never did. It just relax, calm down. It's not the most important thing in the world to talk about what I do with my schwanz. Okay. Right?
You're absolutely right.
Just relax. It's fine.
One of the tip-offs, if when they get to a certain age, if it's a guy or a guy who looks like a woman, check their legs because guys won't have cellulite and many women do.
Was that right? I was not aware of that.
Think about it. See, okay, Devin knows what I'm talking about. Tevin knows what I'm talking about. Tevin. Thinking Devin Singletary, been looking at my fantasy options.
Oh, that's what you're doing. Okay.
Fantasy football options.
In what fantasy? Time out. In what world are you thinking about drafting Devin Singletary in 2024?
I actually think he could have a hell of a year because he's the number one guy in New York. Come on. And he's had 800 yards minimum since 2001. He's
going up there
only four guys.
A walker, Bob.
The what now?
He's going into the backfield with a walking cane.
You watch some video of him. He's a late round pick. He's not he's not my first guy or nothing like that.
First overall pick in the 2024 Bob Sansevere draft.
There you go.
Justin Jefferson still on the board.
I will tell you, I was in a draft once where the guy's first round pick was a kicker. You love playing with guys like that.
Yep. What the hell? It all works out in the end, doesn't it, Bob?
Yes. And one other thing, you're twins, by the way, a note to the Pohlad family, sell the damn team.
I
if
agree.
You're going to complain again. You already cut the payroll $35 million. You have a chance to actually be a contender, and don't piss that away by not spending any money. Oh, it's expensive. We have to get rid of big salaries. No, figure it out. And don't give away
billionaires, Bob.
They are.
Family's billionaires.
4 billions.
Yeah.
And 4 billion.
Yep.
Oh, God.
But okay, the Bally thing, yes, it was a mess. But how about trying to they contract the payroll. They don't contract what they charge people to come to the ballpark. That never goes down.
Well, we did a comparison. I bought my first 6 season tickets in 1976, I think it was, or 75, something like that. 76, I think it was. Bought my first season tickets. I bought 6 season tickets that were kind of like right behind the first base dugout, right behind the Twins dugout, right?
Yep.
I bought those tickets for $11,000 that year. This year they would be over $100,000.
Oh my God.
So, they're a little more expensive. So it's not like you're not making any money there, Pohlads. I mean, Jesus.
No.
Right?
No, they are making money. And, the trade deadline's tomorrow. Do something. don't do something, but don't tell us that, we'd have to cut a salary. Quit going on the cheap, because this is how you lose fans and interest. And here's the other thing. Who doesn't, for a second, with what they're doing this past year, does anyone believe if he stays healthy that they're going to pay Royce Lewis?
Oh, no way.
Or Brooks Lee? I mean, they're not. These guys are going to, when their contracts are up, why would you stay if they keep contracting? Sell the damn team.
Yeah, that's a good point, Bob. I mean, I hate admitting that you're right on the money, but you are. You know what I mean?
Sign of the apocalypse.
A sign of the apocalypse. That's exactly what I was thinking. Yes, Bob.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Now, did any of you get asked quick? And I know you want to get rid of me here, but
no, I do not.
Did any of you see Deadpool and Wolverine?
No.
Nope.
Not yet. No.
Good.
Entertaining. The thinnest plot you'll ever see in a movie. Virtually non-existent. However, there's some great lines and some great gore. So it's worth watching for that. It's like a comedy. There's a lot of references to, they do a lot of the breaking down the fourth wall type of thing where they just talk to the audience. That's what's funny about it. And that's
Bob, who used to say comedy that worked with us?
Comedy.
It's a comedy. Who was that? I cannot remember. Thomas, really good. It's a comedy. I don't know. Somebody, some dimwit.
Comedy.
Comedy.
That could cover every one of us.
Cover everybody in radio and podcasting. There's no question about it. So,
but anyway, it is fun. And by the way, this is the first movie that it's pre-COVID type of stuff. They set an all-time record and Deadpool actually had the records, but for an R-rated movie, over 200 million domestically and over 450 million plus worldwide it opened to. Those numbers are off the charts.
It's a lot of do-re-mi, Bob.
And a lot of great little cameos too. So that's the other thing that's fun about it.
Sandy, you do brilliant reporting. That's all I have to say. But I have to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
People don't know this, but Bob's wife and my wife are good friends. They talk. Matter of fact, they talk to each other more than you and I talk to each other.
No, we just got the Monday, Friday thing,
You got the
I don't like to bother you off the air. I don't want to bother you off the air. Tevin and AJ's only got your time tied up.
The one thing that I would say that Bob and I have most in common, we have a lot of things in common, nice Catholic boys and all the rest of it. But the number one thing that Bob and I have in common, that both of our wives are asked, why'd you marry him? Try to deny it, Bob.
And I find it to be an abhorrent question.
I find it to be horrible.
Tom, now, and you too, because I've seen photos, you and I were quite fetching in our youth.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, it's a given.
And so I think that, and of course, when I met my wife, she was alcohol induced. So, must have looked better from those foggy, eyes of hers.
But don't you get sick of that? Because you go through it, I go through it. They meet our wives and go, "What? Really?"
Yeah. You know what? We saved them from a life of misery.
That's right.
Look at the guys they could have went with.
You're right, Bob. You nailed it.
I don't just accept that. I fight back on that because that's wrong. These people do.
You're 100% right. No doubt.
So,
all right, Pally, we will talk to you later in the week.
Oh, I can't wait. I will see.
Oh, we can't either, Bob. Thanks, Annie.
Bye.
Bob Sansevere Sports brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. That is minnesotapersonalinjury.com. We'll check in. Chicken.
National Chicken Wing Day.
It's National Chicken Wing Day, so I'm saying chicken instead of check-in. But other than that, we'll find out what's going on in the news world right after this. Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever. When you use promo code TOM, you get free shipping on your entire order. You get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM.
and you can get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146, go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
I'm here talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, it seems like banking has changed quite a bit since you first opened your doors in 1998.
Yes and no. In 98, we didn't have online and mobile banking like we do today. Many banking processes have also changed. One thing that hasn't changed is we still provide a true community bank experience right here in the Twin Cities.
Our team takes the time to get to know our customers and their goals. This creates a relationship that is unique in banking today and one our customers appreciate. It's why we like to say, we provide a better banking experience.
You're absolutely right, Brad. I've been a customer for a long time. The service your team provides is phenomenal.
Thanks, Tommy.
So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Oh, I tell you, I'm getting a little nervous here because I was supposed to do a thing today and I can't do it because I need to help a friend out with something. I left so far 4 messages, but I haven't gotten anything back from anyone. So hopefully you're not going to think I'm a prick when I don't show up, because I tried to warn everybody they can't make it.
Yeah, I mean, you did everything you can. It's not your fault they don't respond.
That's the nice thing about technology now. You have timestamps of like,
we're sending screenshots.
Yep.
I let you know at 7 a.m. this morning, I can't be there. That's on you for not getting it.
No, you're absolutely. And I let them know yesterday too. So hopefully,
even better. Yeah, that's not on you.
Hopefully they'll get that message. But I just, I can't make it today. Matter of fact, I can't make it all week because a friend of mine needs some help with some stuff. The kind of friend, the help we're talking about. You guys know it's not pretty. But in any case, so hopefully they'll get that message so I don't look like I was a no-show prick. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now this is the headline: the 10 most toxic, problematic, and out-of-touch things celebrities do. How bad is this going to get?
I bet I'm going to take a stab at least one of them here.
Yeah,
okay, good.
Number one is going to be the we're all in this together type of thing. Is there in a mansion and we're not?
Yeah.
There is that.
My favorite is and if you want to donate, go to this link. You do the donating.
Yes, there you go.
You donate.
There is a list of the most toxic, problematic, and out-of-touch things that celebrities do, and it includes, wait a minute, I don't want to say what it includes. I want to start at the bottom. There are 10 of them.
Okay.
Toxic things that celebrities do. When they break the law, but get reduced sentences or fines just because they're famous and can hire fancy attorneys. It's not because they're famous. It's because they can hire fancy attorneys.
Yeah, which I think is ridiculous.
I would agree.
It blows my mind how people can get different sentences for the same crime.
Oh, yeah.
And I understand, if somebody's had like a repeat offender versus the first time, that makes more sense. But just like both first time, that person just has a better lawyer. So
yep.
How about, find the same loophole? It can't be that hard. Can it, lawyers? Come on.
No question about it. Number 9, posting candid photos of themselves to social media that are more like professional shots with perfect makeup. I don't look at that stuff, so I wouldn't know.
I think that's become more like a influencer thing now. It's been more normalized.
Oh, yeah.
Weirdly. I don't know. I'm not a huge picture guy to begin with, so.
There you go. Sharing a close friend's modest GoFundMe when the goal could have easily been achieved by the celebrity themselves. Just what you just said, pal.
Oh, yeah. And AJ as well. Yeah. they're trying to raise $10,000. And it's like, you just made like $3 million off that movie. How about you cut a check and we'll skip all this?
And the video is from their ballroom, and you can see the chandelier hanging over that. It's like, guys, if we could just pan together and raise a measly 10,000. Look, Oprah,
You're right.
You can just do that.
Yep.
I know that's in your handbag over there.
You are correct. Number 7, when celebrities use their fame to push pseudoscience and questionable medical advice, actors, models, and singers are not doctors. There's a lot of that, isn't there?
Yeah. Isn't that Gwyneth Paltrow with your
Yes.
her like what vagina candles or something?
Well, and now
right.
the candles that are supposed to smell like her vagina.
I thought that's what it was.
What?
Wait,
Is this true?
Wait, you thought I just made that up?
That's a hell of a thing to make up.
No, but wait a second. So her crotch smells like it's on fire?
I'm pretty.
Let me type in vagina candles real quick.
I'm pretty. Well, she had something called like goop.
Goop, yes,
Yeah.
I remember goop.
And that was like made with
Goop, yep.
goop is disgusting.
Yeah.
But then I think she made candles that have the aroma of her southern regions.
Yep, it was goop. It was a vagina candle. That was supposed to be in support of feminism, but it doesn't. And I think it wasn't supposed to smell like her actual vagina. It was like smells like how she feels her vagina expresses itself. I guess I don't know.
Talk?
Yeah.
I'll stick with pine tree. Thanks, though.
Yeah, pine tree's good. So I have a question.
Fire away.
And this is true because I know there's no way I could smell my own crotch. I can't bend over that far. So how would they know what it smells like?
Yeah, and then is there like a focus group where they're like, pick these 2 candles, like close your eyes. You have to smell her vagina and then smell the candle to make sure it lights up.
Holy Anna.
They probably did like a food taste test, but like hey, smell this, smell this.
Yeah.
Do you think they told them like, hey, this is what this candle's supposed to be for, or just pick which one you think smells best?
I think you just go with the smells best. If you told me what it was, I'm not smelling that
I'm
candle.
leaving the facility.
Why would you want that? I mean, do these sell? Did she sell these?
Enough of her diehard.
I guess enough of them.
Oh God, unbelievable. Number 6, social media posts about their much needed and so relaxing vacations when they were just on vacations about 30 days ago. Well, they do a lot of vacationing. That part is absolutely true. Along the same lines, virtually any parenting advice from wealthy people. Yeah, probably you don't need rich people telling you how to raise your kids.
What do you mean you need time off? Like, why are you stressed out? Just drop the kids off at the nanny and then
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly right. Number 4, anytime a celebrity does the I'm just like you thing, like if I can stay fit, anyone can. Yes, but you have a gym in your house, a personal trainer, a private chef, a live-in day childcare. Just acknowledge the benefits you have from being wealthy. I would have to agree with that, right?
Yeah. Same thing with like I've seen a very popular Twitch streamer recently did the same. He's like, I've been doing this for the past 3 years. Guys, you just got to put you sit in front of your computer for 6 hours a day max. And then the other times, like, you got a chef, you got all this other free time. You're like, you're good. I get that you can do it. Other people might not be able to.
They might not be able to. Like, for instance, we already talked about the 60-40 burger at Red Cow.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I didn't do this morning after eating that for dinner last night is weigh in.
Oh, no. Yeah, you skipped.
That ain't happening until tomorrow morning. Yep. I can promise you that. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Number 3, when we don't even know the names of the people they work with and even joke about it, like they're too important to know the people who help them be successful, that I could not tolerate.
Mm-hmm.
If someone helped you be successful and you don't even know their name.
Yeah, I saw a video of, I can't remember what celebrity it was, but they were trying to get the attention of like the cameraman or something to like hand them something. Yeah. And she just kind of refers to them as like a camera person. And they're like,
camera person.
I've been on set with you every day for like 6 months. How do you not remember my name?
I think it was back when James Corden had his TV show.
Oh, yeah.
They did maybe it was either him or Jimmy Fallon, but they did like a game show with a celebrity where it was like, you either eat something disgusting or you answer a very tough personal question. And, they go back and forth in the middle of it. He goes, all right, this camera guy, He's been here since your
Yep.
first show. Sir, step out. Tell me that man's name. And he goes, I know it's Jake. And Jake goes, I've been to your kid's birthday party. What's my last name?
Oh.
And it's so awkward. And then he just walks off after like 10 seconds of silence and laughing by, I can't remember if it was Corden or Fallon, but just very awkward. He's like, I know it. I'm blanking. And it's like, Jimmy, you don't know it.
You don't know it. Well, I was saying the same things as Stanley Hubbard's daughter, but I can't remember her name. What's her name again?
Oh yeah. Oh, what's her face?
Yeah, What's her face? What's her name again? I can't. You know,
It's
that's
Jenny. I'm not.
Oh, he goes, it's Jenny.
My job is not safe enough to pretend like I don't know who that is.
I got to call Jenny because we're going to have lunch one of these days. But like I said, I've known Jenny since she was 8 years old, for Christ's sake. She's a wonderful person. And I'm not saying that just because, you know, we're all, well, I don't really work for Hubbard. I work with Hubbard. So
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
I could just blast away at him, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like they don't do anything that deserves a good blasting.
A good blasting. No, that's, you know, what the hell. Yeah, to not know someone's name that has helped you be successful.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell do you not know their name?
Yeah, which is, I like hearing the kind of the opposite end of those stories where I think it was Kevin Hart did a big stadium show in Philadelphia and he brought like everybody that worked on the
See, that's
production
great.
to the person that's selling hot dogs and the whatever and gave them a big rah-rah speech and like tried to, you know, include them and make them feel part of it. So you like to hear those stories as well.
Couldn't agree more. I love that kind of stuff. Number 2, when they reject the concept of nepotism. Sure, if you're terrible, you wouldn't make it, but having a famous parent gives you a major front foot in the door. Yeah, I would say if your parents are famous, it might help you out a bit.
Yeah, and I have noticed that with some newer nepotism, like nepo babies, they're accepting it because I mean, frankly, there's no way to dodge it. I think in this day and age, but it is very annoying. I feel like when it's, you know, I'm in all these movies, and then I found out, oh, your dad also produced all of these movies.
It was Kendall Jenner, one of the Kardashian sisters.
Yeah.
She had this big post a while ago that was like, you know, self-made, really, you know, pulled myself out of the gutter type post. And people were like, your family's worth billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Like you did not do any of that.
Okay, now we're going to have to go to number 1, but we're coming back to number 2 because they have a list of young celebrity offenders. So I am coming back to that.
Okay.
No question. Number 1 is telling poor people they need to get off their ass and get to work. By the way, apparently Kim Kardashian says that to people all the time.
Yeah, she's always in the news telling somebody like, just work harder. It's not that difficult.
Look, guys, you just have to have the right mindset.
Yep.
Kim, remember how you got your start, honey?
You did this. He goes like this too. Remember how you got your start?
Oh no, I was doing a hand job.
No, you weren't. You had it cupped. I saw it.
My goodness.
Yeah, not everybody smokes the pole to get famous. So, you know, let's just bring that up there, Kim. How could you possibly watch the Kardashians? It's the most obnoxious thing I've ever seen.
It's very obnoxious. It's not my cup of tea, but yeah, people love what they do now. And now they've at least branched out where they're doing more like Kim has a clothing line and like makeup. So it's not just them being on TV and being annoying as much, but
I'll give them credit because I don't know how they ascended to that level.
Because of their father.
Well, I'm saying they had like a reality TV show, and there's a certain level of celebrity that comes with that,
right? Like your Jersey Shores and stuff.
But it's
like
like
that.
C-list at best, right? They have transcended to like global and I don't understand.
I don't get
how. Like, are they that entertaining? I don't think so.
No,
they're also probably just not for me. But I just don't understand. They don't do a lot. They didn't do. Now they do a lot more, but they didn't do a lot. It was just on them. Their show was just, we're in the Poconos this week, and I lost my earring in the water. Okay, how is that superstar? I don't know.
You're
That's
right.
just whatever.
But again, they became famous because their father helped get O.J. Simpson out of a murder charge.
Yeah, really, if OJ never murdered those
You've
people,
never heard them.
Kardashians would not be around.
It's true.
Have you guys ever seen the butterfly effect of like that season? The Buffalo Bills missed a last minute field goal, which then made the draft pick, the draft pick move up so that OJ got drafted to where he did. And so he was out on the West Coast where that all happened, where if he would have been drafted somewhere else, who knows?
Right.
And the Kardashians are never famous.
No question about it. Okay, we go back, ladies and gentlemen, to number 2 because they have, again, when they reject the concept of nepotism, sure, if you're terrible, you wouldn't make it. But having a famous parent gives you a major foot in the door. They have a list of young celebrity offenders. I'm clicking on it right now.
Okay.
And it has 7 Nepo babies who are completely out of touch about their privilege and 10 who actually get it. So here we go. Is this the good ones or the bad ones first?
What's one of the names on the list? We probably can tell you.
It's probably very telling.
Okay, Maud Apatow. So that's Judd's daughter.
I'm assuming so, yes.
I've never even heard of her.
I haven't either.
Nope.
So that's not a good one. Okay, we'll start at the very top here. I don't know who this woman is either. I don't know who any of these people are.
Give me a name.
Okay, we'll give you a name here. Maya Hawke.
That's the daughter of Ethan Hawke. She has been in like Stranger Things and some other movies recently.
Oh, she is. Is it any good?
She's pretty talented. Like
Okay.
she's one. She has come into her like own spotlight and has been pretty solid.
Allison Williams.
Not sure I know who that is.
I don't know who that is either. Let me see if they say she's the daughter of Brian Williams and Jan. I've met her. They're talking. Yeah, Brian Williams was a good friend of the former guy who used to back when KQRS was the #1 morning show in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Her father was my boss. So he'd go out to his house all the time out in New York and hang out. And Brian Williams was at all the dinner. Brian Williams is actually a very nice guy. We already talked about Maud Apatow. Then we got, Kendall Jenner. Yeah, there you go. That's Bruce Jenner's daughter, right? With another Kardashian thing.
Yes.
Yeah, this must be the out of touch list.
Yeah.
Is it the out of touch list?
Unfortunately for Maya Hawke.
Haley Bieber.
Yep. Yeah. That is. There used to be Haley Baldwin. I want to say, is that Alex's daughter?
Oh, so she's not married to Justin Bieber, is she?
She is.
Well, she is.
Yes. And don't understand. She to my eyes always has just been like an influencer and then just married Justin Bieber. And now that's all she does is just like
married Justin Bieber.
Married Justin Bieber.
Lily Rose Depp.
Johnny Depp's daughter. I'm
Johnny
guessing.
Depp's daughter is Zooey Deschanel.
Oh, Zooey Deschanel, like the new girl?
Yeah, she was good on there, I thought.
Who is her parents?
Zooey Deschanel is the daughter of 6-time Academy Award nominated cinematographer Caleb Deschanel and actor Mary Jo Deschanel. I never even heard of her parents, but I heard of her.
Right. I think she's got Nepo parents. is
Yeah,
what
she's
this
got
sounds
Nepo
like to me.
parents. You're absolutely right. We got to go through this just a couple more. Dakota Johnson. We had her in studio once. She's pretty pleasant, actually. Ben Platt. Who the hell is Ben Platt?
That is Broadway and movies. He was in Pitch Perfect, and then with us, I can't remember. It's the musical about the guy who attempts to commit suicide after faking like he has cancer. Or something.
Okay. I'm assuming Kristen Burt is probably just screaming at her microphone.
You're right.
As we're going through this list.
But here's the problem. Ben Platt is the son of Mark and Julia Platt. Who the hell are Mark and Julia Platt? I never even heard of them.
Kristen says his father produces all caps everything. So Mark Platt.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
and Wicked.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break, be right back, and invite Kristen Burt to go through this list yet again. What do you think? We'll be right back.
I've been tracking the weather in Minnesota for a long time. I'm 5 Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Ken Barlow. In the morning, I've got to be right because my forecast affects your family's entire day. And in the evening, you can count on my friend, Ren.
That's right, Ken. I'm 5 Eyewitness News evening meteorologist Ren Claire. And as a Minnesotan, I know our weather can be tricky. Throughout the day and into the night, I've got you covered with an accurate forecast to help keep your family safe and ready for any weather.
And don't forget, no matter how things change or what time of day, you'll always get our forecast first at the start of every newscast on 5 Eyewitness News. Start your day with me, Ken Barlow.
And wrap up your day with me, Ren Claire.
Because 5 Eyewitness News is always tracking our weather. So you're always alerted first. It's why 5 Eyewitness News is Minnesota's weather authority.
when you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they taught you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
I hosted my show on the radio for 40 years. Now I host the Tom Barnard Podcast. And I'll tell you, I've never seen the passion and engagement from our audience as I do now. I know we also have businesses that listen to our podcast, and it got me thinking, wouldn't it be great to help those businesses grow by telling my listeners about them? So here's the deal. If you own or handle marketing for a business, would like to have my audience buy your product or service, visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and we'll put together an ad campaign to help your business. That's TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and thank you for listening.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
This is my impression of Kristen Burt. Put me on the show, damn it. Kristen Burt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. So you were having a fit during the list?
I mean, I don't know who that is. I don't know. Maybe it's Alec Baldwin's daughter. I don't know.
Stephen Baldwin.
It is Stephen Baldwin. Yes.
I don't know who Mark Platt is. I have no idea who that is.
Mark Platt is a very well-known movie producer and Broadway producer, I should say. And he produced Wicked on Broadway and now is doing the films. He's done La La Land. He's done Legally Blonde. He's done movies that we've all seen over and over again. Very powerful here in Hollywood. And yes, he produced Dear Evan Hansen, which his son starred on Broadway and did the film. There's your Nepo baby right there.
We were close.
Yeah, well, I know the music, like the Broadway musical, has gotten really good reviews. I just remember the movie adaptation was like, why is this guy playing a high schooler? There has to be someone more qualified.
Ooh, yeah. I like it.
It worked in the theater because theater, you can be a 20-year-old adult playing a teenager. It works. It's, because you sort of suspend disbelief in a theater, but it doesn't work on film. But his dad, of course, produced it. And everyone was like, okay, by the time he had gotten off Broadway, the pandemic happened, they filmed it. He was looking a lot more like 30 than a high school student.
Yeah.
So I can prove that I'm not a Nepo baby. You know how I can prove it?
How?
I actually work, unlike my father. What do you think? Yeah, you can hit that drum all you want, but it was true. That boy did not like to work. I can guarantee you that. Like to be an asshole, but never mind. I didn't say that. Okay, moving forward. So we got through it all. We got the Platts and we got the this and we got the that and beep, but up, but oop. I think Zooey Deschanel is the only one I've ever even heard of.
Yeah, her father is a very well-known cinematographer. So
was that right?
And
she said, she's like, I'm not really a Nepo baby because she's like, a cinematographer really can't get me a role per se.
Right.
She's like, yeah, I could get introduced to people, perhaps, like maybe he knew a casting director, but the idea of, like, if you look at Maude Apatow, who is in Euphoria, but she started out in her dad's films when she was a kid. If you go and watch any of his films and you see the little kids, those are his kids. So he got them started in the business, got their SAG card right away when they were very young.
Well, there you have it. I'd like to claim to be a Nepo baby, but I've got no shot. That's all I'm saying. Does that mean that Andy and Alex are Nepo babies because they're on the family podcast with me?
Yes, they are.
Uh-oh, Nepo babies. I'm going to point it out in about another 10 minutes when they get it. Yeah. My bad.
Be like, slackers.
Yes, slackers. Well, now, of course, we got, Alex's kids on the show. So I got 3 generations of Nepo babies.
There you have it.
What do you think of that?
Creating a Nepo empire.
You know what's so great about that, though, is I love working with my family. I don't care if it's my grandkids, my kids, my wife, whatever. It's got nothing to do with them. It has to do with me. I love having them around. It's phenomenal.
Well, that's a good thing.
It
a lot
is
of people don't like having their family around. So you should be very happy that your family is close.
But how could you not be close to your own family?
Oh, I think it's pretty easy. I have plenty of people who don't talk to their family members. But sometimes, yes, but remember, for some people, that is a healthier thing to not be in contact with
I
their
suppose
family.
that's true.
Yeah. I have friends who've had really hard lives, and they live a healthier, more successful life without some of their family members in it.
Do you think I'm so close to my family because my mother was close to the kids, but my father was not? So do you think I just kind of assumed the role of my father going, well, I am going to be close to all my family?
Yeah, sometimes you are able to do things different than your parents did.
You mean like work?
Do things better, whatever that is, whatever that means to you.
My mother was a hard worker, though. She was a diner waitress for 54 years. She busted her ass.
That is hard work.
But I made it easier for her because I waited outside the Kokomo's Cafe, it was called, on 26th Avenue North. And if they didn't tip my mother, I suggested they go back in and do that. If you know what I mean. It's wonderful. So what do you got in the news, sister?
Well, people did 4 things this weekend. Let's see if you did any of these 4. One, you watched the Olympics opening ceremony.
Nope.
Tevin or AJ?
I caught parts of it. I like the Gojira performance. That was
that was good.
That was unexpected. That ripped so hard. That was awesome.
That was good. 2, you went to the movies and watched Deadpool and Wolverine.
Nope.
3, you watched Hillbilly Elegy.
Who? Nope. I've already
Hillbilly
seen.
Elegy. That's JD Vance's movie.
Right.
No.
Or 4, you watched Veep.
Nope. I don't watch
All
any.
4 of those. Isn't that amazing? But that's what a majority of Americans spent their weekend doing, watching the Olympics. Olympics ratings are up all over the place, which is great
that's
for
good.
NBC. Yeah, it is good. I think just the idea of the Tokyo Olympics when it was nobody in the audience and
Yeah.
they were all secluded. I think losing out on that aspect and excitement of the Olympics just made people not tune in. People were tired of COVID by then. Movies doing great. I mean, we're talking about $205 million in the box office over the weekend. That is a huge number, making it the 8th largest opening ever, which is incredible. And then on streaming, Veep, a lot of people are watching it because of Kamala Harris. They feel like it, sort of mimics her storyline. And of course, people are investigating like what JD Vance is all about with his movie Hillbilly Elegy.
So did this Veep start over again, or it's just the old episodes?
Just the old episodes,
Oh,
people
it is.
going back and watching again. Yeah. And, there are some storylines that sort of mimic what is happening in real life. So I think for a lot of people, that's just fascinating. And they're like, oh, I didn't catch it the first time around. So those are the 4 things that everyone was doing. Tom did 0 of them. Tevin and AJ, we got a slice?
Yeah, we got a little slice.
Yeah, we got
Slice. I was on the phone, or actually I was texting with Tevin's girlfriend at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, we have a beef, Kristen.
We have a beef.
All of a sudden, the TV is on. I'm like, what is going on? It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and we're just watching Simone Biles, I guess.
Were you up too? Because Bill got up with me too and watched it. I had to get up at 2:30 to watch Simone Biles on Sunday morning.
Yeah, I was like, and my girlfriend's like, yeah, me and Kristen are talking. We're watching, the Olympics together. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Well, she goes, what's your number? I'm like, here's my phone number. And then before I know it, she's like, text in.
There you go.
It's all over for Tevin. I'm like, there are no secrets now. Forget it.
Oh no, she's every day is we have to go to LA and see. She said we could stay at her. I'm like, we're not staying at Kristen Bird's house.
Good God. It all works out. Now I got to ask you guys a question. What's the name of the woman that stars in Veep again?
Julie Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah, they're the Dreyfus. I do not see what her talent is. She's not funny in the least. She's okay.
She's very funny.
Do you really think she's funny?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very charismatic. She's
really?
Yeah.
Is she charismatic because her parents are multi-billionaires? Is that why she's so charismatic?
I didn't know about that. I would say she has pretty good line delivery and is able to sell like certain characters. Like I enjoyed her on Seinfeld and Veep. I mean, she plays that role so well. She just owns it. It's great.
No, I've never seen that show, so maybe I should watch it because I've never seen that.
Should, and it's well written too. So I think you'll find it smart and sharp and funny. Tony Hale is great in that show too. The two of them playing off of each other is amazing.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll give it a whirl because
I actually think she was one of the better parts of Seinfeld. Like if you go back and watch now, like Jerry's like so whiny.
Yeah, Jerry was not good on his own show. He was the worst part of his own show.
Yeah.
I think seriously, I'm serious about that.
No, I don't disagree. And I find him very like the older he gets, the whinier he gets. I find him hard to tolerate.
I
be
agree.
honest.
I agree. He's one of the most arrogant human beings I have ever met. Oh my God, is he arrogant?
I find him, I'm going to use a great vocabulary word, curmudgeonly. I find him curmudgeonly. And I think his wife, who's, I'm going to say about 15 years younger than him. I think about her every day going, how does she stand that? Listening to that all the time.
Yeah. Well, and I talked to Tevin, because he doesn't watch. Who's the other guy that was on that show that used the big N about 50,000 times? Michael Richards. You still hanging out with him?
We had to put our relationship on a little bit of a hiatus. We don't text and talk as much anymore. He's trying to make a comeback now, so I guess good.
Were you guys seriously friends?
No, not at all.
Oh, I was like, oh, that would be no. Well, actually, I would be interested after something like that happens. Like, what happens with a friendship like that? Do you?
Well, he's gone, isn't he? I mean, he's just
gone. And does anyone remember this? That Jerry Seinfeld, and I want to say it was David Letterman, brought Michael Richards on to kind of do like an apology tour. Like, I still support him.
Yep.
Yeah, it was weird because I remember, I think it was Jerry was doing like a Letterman appearance, but he was talking about that whole incident. And this is not when Michael Richards was on the show, but he was like talking about it. And he kind of said something that could have been interpreted as a joke. And the crowd started laughing. And Jerry was like, no, stop laughing. Like, it was very awkward. And like, it was a whole weird thing.
Yeah. Listen, it's a racial slur. Stop it. It should not be in your vocabulary, period. Like, I just don't get that.
Might be the worst racial slur, actually, to tell you the truth.
I think so.
You know where it came from? This is a true story. Irish immigrants could not pronounce the word Negro. That's where that came from.
Oh.
They couldn't say the word Negro. They kind of shortened her up a little bit or whatever it was, I guess. But what did he ever explain why he thought it was a good idea to do what he did?
Wasn't he on stage doing like a big
comment? He was at the Laugh Factory.
Yep.
And someone filmed him and then handed off the video to TMZ. And once he gets into Harvey Levin's hands, let me tell you, you are toast.
Yep. Yeah, that is true. TMZ is a huge show still, isn't it?
It doesn't have the same power it did like back in 2000, like 7, 8, that type of thing. But I will tell you, because people always go, when someone passes away and they're the first to announce it, they're like, is this true? Let me tell you, it is true, because TMZ has reporters embedded into the LA court system. So divorces, deaths, things like that, things that get like entered into the system, very well embedded into Cedars-Sinai, things like that. They have those connections. I 100% believe it. So when people were like, I don't think Michael Jackson's dead. I don't think Prince is dead. No, he's dead.
Oh, yeah.
He's dead. And, they'll wait until like People or CNN, confirms it. And I'm like, trust me, Harvey knows it.
You're just like, somebody's heartbroken because like Michael Jackson passed away. Chris Bird's like, no. He's
dead.
They sit
there and they go, no, they sit there and they go, that's not true. TMZ lies. And I'm like, on stuff like that, they are not lying. You just have to believe it. Trust me on that. He's dead.
The 20-mile zone, isn't that what TMZ stands for?
30-mile zone.
Oh, it's 30-mile zone. Okay.
30-mile zone, and that comes out of SAG-AFTRA. So if you work within the 30-mile zone, you are considered a 30-mile zone of Los Angeles. You are considered a local hire. If you work outside the 30-mile zone, they need to provide hotel and per diem and things like that. When you work for the shoot.
Do people live like 35 miles away from LA just specifically for the bonus perks?
Well, here's the thing. Like if you lived in Orange County, because you could be like, say, in Southern Orange County, your local chapter is still going to be Los Angeles. That's where you choose to live. But if they shoot 30 miles outside of the center of Los Angeles, they have to provide you with hotel and per diem.
Gotcha.
God, you know what? So you just gave me a very bad memory. Back in the 70s, 80s, I guess the late 80s I did a lot of voiceover. Like I did the local CBS station there, and I did all this work in Los Angeles. But because at that time so it must have been the 80s, because once the internet came along, it changed everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it was up until probably 1991, maybe. Does that make sense? That I would have to fly to Los Angeles to cut commercials. And some guy, I don't know who it was, whatever, he started this big thing about the fact that Barnard doesn't even live here. We've got to do something about this. This is horrible. It was like, what? Just because you suck and I beat you out in an audition, why am I the bad guy?
Do you remember who it was?
Maybe. I can't. Maybe someday I'll tell you who it was.
Was it Don?
In the book.
Was it Don?
Maybe. How did you know?
Well, everybody knows who Don is.
Did he used to do that a lot? Did he do that to a lot of people or something?
Not that I know of. Do you want to tell people who you're talking about?
No, you tell people who I'm talking
Don
about.
LaFontaine.
Don LaFontaine.
Yes. So Don LaFontaine did a lot. If it wasn't Tom, it was Don. So, and I remember, like, I'm going to say Barbara Walters did a special or a segment on him at one point, and he just would go, he'd jump into his limo every single day, which must have been in his contract, I'm assuming. And he would go from studio to studio cutting trailers for movies, doing all the voiceover.
Do you know where he was born?
I do not know.
Look it up.
Duluth, Minnesota.
Duluth, Minnesota, baby. Maybe that's why he was so pissed off with me. We're both from Minnesota.
And he died in 2008.
There you go.
Been gone for a while now.
I didn't kill him either.
Okay.
I'm not sure about that now.
It makes me a little more suspicious that you had to say that.
Yeah, right.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. No, isn't that TikTok?
According to his Wikipedia, he has two nicknames that he goes by. One is the voice of God.
Voice of God, yep.
The other one, Thunder Throat.
Thunder Throat. Hey,
that sounds like his porn name. I'm sorry.
It does sound like a porn name, Thunder Throat. You're absolutely right. You can't even get past that.
Did you have a porn name, Tom, while you did voiceover?
I don't think so. Let me think about it. I'll get back to you, but I don't think so. But yeah, voiceover people can get really, really weird. Some of them are just the nicest people you'd ever want to meet. Really great, great guys and great women and all that stuff. But some of them get very touchy about don't be coming into my territory.
Well, it's a very small world. It's,
it is.
It's a little bubble of people who do a majority of the voiceover work in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it is true. It was the good old days, though. I tell you that.
You were stomping on Don's territory, my friend. He probably called up SAG on you.
Oh, he did. He absolutely did. He doesn't live here. We got to do something about this. It's like, I'm also not from some, small burg like Duluth, pal. What do you think of that?
I can't believe you stepped in turf on Thunder Throat's area.
I stepped on Thunder Throat's area.
Are we still of the dead?
All right. It's time to, I don't know, do what?
I hope that's on his tombstone.
Yeah, here lies Thunder Throat.
Still
Where's he buried? Does it say where he's buried?
In Duluth, Minnesota, probably.
Yeah.
Or is he buried in like Forest Lawn here in Los Angeles?
Duluth, Minnesota, home of Thunder.
Home of Thunder Throat.
Hollywood Forever Cemetery.
I got to be honest with you. I am really glad he got the nickname Thunder Throat and I didn't. I got to be very honest with you.
Congratulations, you dodged a bullet.
I did dodge a bullet. He took that away from me. No, he was good, though. He was a very, very talented guy. You can't take that away from him. He was very good at it. Because there were other people. The one guy that was terrible at voiceover but did a lot of it was Casey Kasem.
You don't like Casey Kasem?
Here's your long distance dedication.
You should go out and buy a Chevrolet this afternoon.
But he was like Scooby-Doo.
He was Scooby-Doo. Yes, he was. He was indeed. No question.
Or was he Shaggy? He was somebody.
Maybe he was Shaggy.
Shaggy.
Well, Shaggy didn't talk. He just went row, didn't it?
No, Scooby-Doo was a dog. So Shaggy, I think he was Shaggy, the Scooby's owner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Scoob. Yeah, I remember him doing that.
Yeah, he was the voice of Shaggy.
The voice of Shaggy.
You know who does a lot of the voiceovers now is Will Arnett.
Oh, he does? He really?
Yeah, he does a lot of like the car commercials, and I think he's the voice of Chevy, I want to say. And but he does a ton of them. Like that's where he's made his fortune, not in TV and film. And also his Smartless podcast, because they just sold it again.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. My favorite moment, again, I've brought this up before, I can't remember what year it was, the 1984 Olympics, I think it was. I did all the commercials for McDonald's, cut about 25 commercials for McDonald's. Sally Bell wants to be in the Olympics someday. And they ran one time, and the guy killed 27 people in the McDonald's in San Diego. Thanks a lot, buddy.
So rude. Well, maybe you'll do another McDonald's commercial for 2028.
Yeah, maybe I'll get back into voiceover again.
We're going to do our opening ceremony on the same route as O.J. Simpson's 405's. Those
In a white Bronco. Oh my God.
In a white Bronco leads.
Can we start a petition right now to have you be a torch member?
Yeah.
I would love that. I would
it.
love to carry a torch.
I like it. No question.
We got to get all of public broadcasting on Tom's Walk of Fame and me carrying a torch, and we're great.
Yes.
And I'm telling you what, I can see the look in your eye. When I do get my star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, I do not want the word thunder throat on the star, which I can see you doing to me right now.
I'm going to do the speech, and I'm going to be like, I'm here on behalf of Thunderthroat. We worked so hard on this campaign. I know it sounds like a porn name. He says he swears it's not.
He says that he's straight, but I don't know. All right, lady. Thanks for ruining my day with Thunderthroat.
You brought it up. I did not.
That's a very good point. All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. That's going to do it for today's show. The family show up in about 10 minutes.